Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about the Valorant Champions Tour. We're going to be talking about Challenges 1 for each region, which are available on Wikipedia. So we're first going to start off with the North American scene, and they have completed it. And it's not really like a big surprise or whatever, but the winners are actually Immortals. So Immortals, obviously, I watched a little bit of Immortals and Sentinels, but Immortals looked really good. And obviously I thought that they were probably they were either gonna win this or they were just gonna be very close because they do look like a really good team. Probably a dark horse team for the actual Champions Tour. So before we get into the finals, we're gonna now first talk about the round of 13. Yes, 13 teams. Obviously, the biggest one, 100 Thieves losing to Carpe Noctem. It kind of makes sense in a way because obviously the Nitro was obviously replaced by, I think it was Skrillex. I think whatever his name is. Let me have a look. Silings, sorry. So he actually replaced Nitro because obviously Nitro had a baby. Congrats to him. And yeah, they don't. I'm just very surprised that they lost to almost like a tier 3, tier 2 team, I guess you can say. NRG, Dignitas 2-1. Not too surprising there. Renegades versus Spot Up 2-1 there. Gen G Esports versus Pittsburgh Knights. Team Envy versus Roosters. Equinox Esports versus Complexity. Equinox Esports 1. FaZe Clan versus Never Done, which is a tier 3 team. Luminosity Gaming versus Penguin Sledding. TSM versus Rise. Xset versus Cloud9 White. Immortals versus Big Frames. Cloud9 Blue versus Ghost Gaming. Sentinels versus Serenity. Built by Gamers versus Space Station Gaming. T1 versus Hollywood's Hooligan. And Andbox versus Fun Snatchers. So those are for round of 13. Now we go to the round of 16, and there's been a little big surprises. NRG versus Carpe Noctem. Smashed them as well, Jesus Christ. Gen G versus Renegades. Team Envy versus Equinox Esports. FaZe Clan versus Luminosity Gaming. Xset versus TSM. Now this is also another big one. Xset beating out TSM, and I think TSM has definitely gone down a bit in the the esports scene in Valorant. Honestly, they look really good at the beginning, leveled up with Sentinels. But now it definitely looks like out of those two, TSM and Sentinels, Sentinels is definitely the best compared to TSM because they're being very slowly declining their way. At Xset, however, they've actually been looking pretty well. They may be they're definitely tier 2, almost up to tier 1, in my opinion. He's they're definitely very close. They are definitely getting there. So hopefully Xset actually performs this rise to the top, and which will be great to see. Anyways, Immortals versus Cloud9 Blue, Sentinels versus Built by Gamers, and Andbox versus T1. Yeah, T1 did lose this, and I'm not really that shocked because T1 hasn't been looking that well, that good ever since the beginning of the Valorant scene of esports. Because first of all, it was TSM versus T1, but then Sentinels came in, and then yeah, T1 had been just off the cliff. So I'm not really that surprised about Andbox. They have been looking pretty well. It's a little bit of a dark horse team as well, just like Immortals, but even more of a dark horse. We now go to the quarterfinals. NRG versus Gen G Esports. I'm very surprised that NRG has actually gone this far because they they were struggling a bit in the first, but now they're looking pretty good. Team Envy versus Luminosity Gaming. Again, Luminosity Gaming, another team that is actually went pretty far into the into this. I thought they were probably going to be eliminated in quarterfinals, but they versus FaZe Clan. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Xhead versus Immortals. Immortals obviously won this. And Sentinels versus Andbox. Sentinels won that. Now for the semifinals, Team Envy versus NRG. It was kind of a close game, and definitely in Haven. And then Immortals vs Sentinels. It was go back and forth, but Immortals obviously got that. And in the grand finals, it was Immortals beating out Team Envy. It was pretty close in some parts, but Immortals was definitely the better one because obviously Chemicals, Nature, great players, including Gangarstar. Shot Up is amazing as well. And JC Stanny, very consistent as well. So almost everyone in Immortals did play really well. So now in the main event, look here, obviously, those are the top 8, so basically the teams from the quarterfinals. That's currently what the bracket is going to be looking like. Immortals versus Xset, NRG versus Genji, Team Envy versus Nbox, and Sentinels versus Luminosity Gaming. I'm going to try and watch them, but it's going to be very hard. But I'll try my best. You know, it's actually going to be on tomorrow. In tomorrow my time. Well, actually, I think it's in North America time, but I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Korea has definitely done some stuff. So I think these are the teams for for in Korea. I think for the main event, which it is. So there it is right there. Dan1 Gaming, Tano Esports, Hamatori. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I do apologize. Zendigings, Bearclaw Gaming, World GameStar, Vision Strikers, which is obviously the best team in the world, Goma, and ZF Gaming. We're gonna open qualifier, and it's kind of like a bracket. So Group A is Dan1 Gaming who won that as the results for that. I'm not gonna read out the whole thing. I'm just gonna say who won. This one it was 2 Pill Gaming. It did look pretty good in the group. Hamtori Zendajinx. If I'm butchering it, I apologize. I'm gonna say. Group D it was Bearclaw Gaming. Well, Group E, if I can close that. Group E, it was World GameStar. A great name of idiot idiot party. Group F, obviously Vision Strikers, who knew, but Nocturne Gaming actually looked pretty close there. Even here as well, looked pretty close. And Group G, it was AP Prince or A Prince. And then Group H, ZF Gaming. Now we go to playoffs. Dan1 Gaming won against Fatality. TNL Esports won against Topil Gaming. Hamtori Zendajinx won against Lunatic High. Bearclaw Gaming won against Bulldozer Gaming. Well, GameStar again was very close of actually getting beaten by Nocturne Gaming. Actually, why do I say that? Whatever. Vision Strikers versus LFS. Goma versus A Prince. And ZF Gaming versus Physical. So those clear now. The players, and this is what the group set. So there's gonna be another group stage, and I think there'll be another playoffs coming to at the end of this. But this is the Group A: Dan1 Gaming, Welcome Star, TNO Esports, and ZF Gaming. Group B: Hamtori Z Dajinx, Goma, Vision Strikers, and Bearclaw Gaming. We now quickly move on to Japan, and Japan has 4 teams currently in the main event: Absolute Jupiter, Blackbird Ingus, Reject, and Destination Gaming. In the open qualifier, I don't think it's actually done yet. Oh, well, it's right here, I guess. Nothing apparently there, but okay. So the top 4 were from the first strike. So first strike top 4 there. There'll be Group A and Group B, Absolute Jupiter and Destination Gaming, and for Group A, Group B, Blackbird Ingus, and Reject. The open qualifiers will be determined here. No teams have been announced yet. We go to the C, which is Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Hong Kong and Taiwan. This is the results there. I'm not really going to read any of these out, but you can have a look for them in yourselves. And they haven't announced all the matches yet, but it will be there for 1 day. So there's that, and then the open qualifiers, I'm going to quickly go through them as well. Those are the teams that competed, and these are the results. A couple wins and forfeits, which is interesting. And try to fit this into the whole screen, which is very hard for me to do. I don't think I can do it. Very close, but yeah, there's that part as well. The Philippines, those are the teams there. And then the open qualify. You can obviously pause the video anytime you want just to have a look at the teams. And these are all of them a little bit TBDs. Okay, it's actually a lot easier to actually fit in. There it is. Have a look there yourself. Malaysia and Singapore. They're almost done with it, so those are the teams competing in the main event, and then open qualifier. If I can even click on it. Those are the teams, and here's the results. Next up, Indonesia. These are the teams. I think you guys should probably get this by now. These are the teams. The results have not been announced yet, or the bracket. These are the teams there for the open qualifier, and these are the results. And finally, we have Hong Kong and Taiwan. Those are the teams. They have announced the bracket, which is right there. And for the open qualifier, these are the teams. And these are the results. Okay, so there's basically the in the Asia, so Eastern Asia, so Indonesia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and all those countries. Now we move on to Brazil, and Brazil almost done with the main event, but this is basically the participants mainly. You don't see any game landers. Obviously, the best team in Brazil were eliminated by Fury Esports, which may take over, but we just have to wait and see if that's the case. I'm not really going to talk about the groups any quicker. I'm just going to show them. And then the open qualifier. I guess I'll. Should I do? Actually, nah. Actually, yeah, I'll probably do round 30. So round 32, Game Landers 1 against Silasao. I apologize if I mispronounce any of these names. Fury Esports versus Chesterno. Next up, Semtag versus Bar 100 Lona. Galaxy Carrots versus Trambala. Ked Stars versus No Sleep. Slick versus VK Gaming. Delara WowZK versus Asita. B4 Esports versus Black Dragon. Or Black Dragons. Pain Gaming versus Agentes Liveries? Liveries? I don't know. Team Vikings versus Me Contrata. Contrata. There you go. Haven Liberty versus S5. High Power Esports versus Bad COVID, which is an interesting name. Vorox versus Mark 5. 3P versus, I'm gonna butcher this, Esquama Unico? Unico? I don't know. Imperio Esports versus Fall Time 2 Min. And Falavar Armors versus Atletico Zombies. Round 16 for Esports wins against Game Landers. Galaxy Carrots versus Sam Tag. Slick versus Kate Stars. Delaware Wow ZK versus B4 Esports. Team Vikings versus Pain Gaming. S5 versus High Power Esports. Vorax versus 3P. And Imperio Esports versus Favela Aimers. So that's Brazil. Then we go to Latin America North, which I think is actually all finished. Yes, it has. Lazy Clan actually has won it. There it is there. The winners finals. And those are the teams and players. Open qualifiers. I'm not going to read any of these out. I'm just going to just show you them because it's a lot easier for me to basically condense this video as much as I can. And Latin American South, which is also finished. It was won by Wigers Argentina. And those are the groups. And these are the finals. Runner-up and winners. Open qualifier. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can if I try. Those are the results. I'm not going to show you the teams because I can't be bothered. And there we go. So very very quickly, I just want to talk about the transfers. Basically the esports team as a whole. A couple new rosters have been announced. Just for example, Fnatic's out in the scene. T1 has now finally announced their head coach. Team Finance has announced a Molsey. movie star writers Science Dark Zero, who was I think was formerly what was it? How from Carpe Noctem? Because I remember that name. Etronic, I think as I said, yeah, Etropic has announced their roster. Very interesting roster, I just want to say. A couple other times as well. Rise announced Showtime as their new player. TSM's performance coach. Actually, I think it's the same. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's now in T1. It's kind of really this week. But currently we have the Korea Challengers 1 currently live. Obviously we can't watch it because it is not able to be streamed. But that's kind of really about it. Hopefully so next one in Challengers 2, when mainly North America is finished, I will be talking about them. Just saying just checking the results and everything of who won and my opinions on it. Mainly North America, maybe Europe if I can maybe get the teams up, but mainly North America. So that's it from me now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.
Hold up, cause I'm going in. You know what it is. I be on my level. I be on my level. Can't touch me now. I be on my level. Pull up. All I do is win. You know what it is. I be on my level. I be on my level. Can't touch me now. I be on my level. Hey, we be about to go off. These boys ain't got no sauce. On the win